Hello everyone, welcome to Poorly Ill-Structured Soccer Debates. I'm Danny Jones, I'm here with Tom.
Hi.
Tim.
Hi.
And Will Darby.
You're right.
And together, guys, we are...
P.I.S.S.
That's never going to get boring.
It's never ever going to
But I
get
do
boring.
all realise now that we're all double parked.
I'm not.
Fuck you. I am double parked.
Alright, same here.
Whilst these guys are consuming the drinks, we've got a lot to talk about today, covering the topic of the world's biggest transfer. Well played, Tom.
Thank you.
We're going on for the 25th year of the Premier League.
Correct.
Too fizzy.
Too fizzy. Coutinho might be off.
Yeah, possibly. I'd like to hear Will's thoughts on that as a Liverpool fan.
Well, then we can hear Will's thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Messing with a lot of people's fantasy football there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really
it is.
That's why I haven't stopped.
Not mine. Yeah, I was going to say, he's not in my team.
He's still there.
So, have you guys...
Are you?
You're caught up on your drinks? No, Will's still going.
Yeah, I'm golden.
Well...
And the Community Shield.
Oh yeah, we've got to discuss the Community Shield as well.
It's a charity shield, mate. It just rolls off the tongue so much better than the Community Shield.
It does, doesn't it? I think
Charity Shield.
Yeah, it's always the Charity Shield.
And the introduction of our ABBA penalties.
Yeah, that was odd, wasn't it?
The players didn't even understand it, did they? Really?
Well,
that's
clearly the manager didn't, because he let Courtois take a penalty.
And he says, I think I'm quoting someone else here. I've just listened to another podcast or read another interview. But Chelsea manager, what's his name? Conte, right? Yeah. He said, but what's his name again?
Conte. Oh,
Conte's the manager.
God, that half a beer is doing me really badly.
So Conte said about Courtois.
He said Courtois is one of the best kickers in the football.
Yeah.
He said he kicks the ball the most out of all the other players.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Kicks it the most out of all the other players on the pitch. Bollocks to that.
He can use his hand.
Exactly.
Well, he took that penalty like he was taking a goal kick.
Yeah. He looked like he'd never struck a ball towards goal. He looked like he was just kicking for distance.
Yeah. It was a shameful looking penalty. It was a shameful looking penalty.
Sorry guys, just had a leprechaun run through the street.
No, Jason's out.
I've never seen anyone lean back so much taking a penalty before in my life. I mean, there's it was the Di Biagio one.
No,
really
Roberto Baggio.
Roberto Baggio won in World Cup '94
in the US.
And he spooned it off.
My first vivid World Cup
row Z.
Yeah,
he's gonna be in row double Z.
Yeah,
definitely. It probably cleared the stadium.
Good cup size.
Yeah, good cup size. No, but that was really bad.
So did the other penalties have an advantage, or would it make it more of an even playing field, or what was the thoughts on that?
For me, I didn't think anything of it, really, to be perfectly honest. I just thought it was an odd way of taking
I
the
quite
penalties.
liked it.
Yeah.
When you guys explained it to me last week, I was like, how's that going to work? I didn't know they were going to do it in the charity shield.
I didn't. I was a bit surprised.
But I was also no extra time as well.
Weren't you expecting extra time? Yeah. No extra time.
So was that a usual thing, or is it?
I think it's a usual thing, because I said there's no extra time, and people were like, no, there's extra time.
I think it is a normal thing because it is still technically considered a penalty. It's like apparently, and this surprises me, is that Pedro's red card won't actually count.
No, it will.
I thought it did.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it fucking well should.
It probably should, but because the charity.
Whatever that game is, Will's just got back from a couple of days away.
Very long day.
So
whatever this thing is called, the Community Shield.
Yeah.
Apparently, it still counts as a friendly. So actually, winning the Community Shield is the equivalent of winning the Audi Cup.
Fuck you. That's our second piece of silverware for the season. I'm counting the Emirates Cup.
Tell you what, you're doing well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Clutching at straws.
I
take it as your first piece of silverware. That would lend it some legitimacy.
I tell you what, I fucking hope Coutinho fucks off.
Oh.
It's getting really
or he stays and then he breaks his leg first game.
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
Bit harsh.
That's a bit harsh.
Yeah, that is a bit harsh, and I don't apologise.
In the first game,
I'm sorry, Will.
In the first game, You saying the first game? First game after the transfer window, that'd be more a piss take.
Yeah.
Well, he stays, and then whoever we
after
play
the transfer window,
the first game in September.
And we're like, oh fuck, we could have had 100.
And the whole during the transfer window, they've not played him because of the transfer saga.
No, but he's
thrown in his transfer request.
No,
he hasn't. No, he's doing very well actually.
As of yet,
yeah, of course. I mean, granted, while we're recording,
I don't think
he probably will. But I don't think he will either, because he's mentioned that he's happy. If he leaves, he wants it to be an amicable proceeding, which is a reasonable thing to do. It's lovely to hear about it. Sure. He's not going to end up being Virgil van Dijk, who I would still love to come to us, even if he is a bit of a pro.
I'm on the side of the fence of both these transfers. Yeah. Basically, Coutinho's got Barcelona after him, right? He's at Liverpool, fantastic club. Yeah. I'm not denying that. But there are other clubs above that level,
of course.
You know. So Barcelona club's knocking. It's your ambition, isn't it? And if they're willing to pay over the odds, you're doing your club a favour by going for that huge sum of money.
Alan Smith went from Leeds to Man
like you say, he's not put the dummy out. He's he's not really said much actually. But the Van Dijk one, all he's saying is, I'm at Southampton. I want to go to bigger, better clubs. Like, I've got ambition. I'm young, and I don't want to spend another year here just because the club said I'm not first.
He just signed a 6-year deal, and they made him captain.
That's stupidity, but but when he's got big clubs knocking,
that's what I read.
Oh my god,
this, probably.
that is some terrible behaviour. You're going to strip him of the captaincy.
You've got to now.
Danny Rose. Have you heard about Danny Rose today?
No.
Was he linked with
United and Chelsea?
Apparently, United and Chelsea. Who?
Chelsea.
Oh, you said their name first.
Oh my word!
Manchester, I believe.
Terrible.
Coming from you as well.
Yeah.
Oh Christ!
It was me last week.
Normally, because of Danny is a staunch Man City supporter, we've agreed not to mention the red side of.
We agreed also not to talk about this, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, but the people need to know.
It is shameful, I know.
It is shameful, but we'll let you off because
this will be my last podcast.
Because we will take him outside and brutally murder him afterwards.
Yeah. If the police are listening, though, just
if the police are listening, we will drop him at the bottom of Chen Dong Hu.
Yeah, if the police are listening, good English, my friends. Well, fantastically kept up. Well done.
Yeah.
Now, if there was a police officer listening now back from the UK, like, what are these guys saying? I can't speak English. We're based in China, just for the masses.
Yes.
So when we talk about the local police, we talk about.
I know, there's probably some coppers back home who can't speak English.
More than likely.
No. You weren't allowed to join the police because you were too English, right?
Correct.
What good would a podcast be for them? They can't speak English. Brilliant, isn't it?
Well, they might be using it.
Let's have some mumble, like a learning aid. Yeah.
Anyway, I would like to.
Four English teachers talk about football right up my street. I'm going to learn English, love, to his wife, and he's not.
So can I go? I forgot who I just mentioned. Danny Rose.
Yes.
Danny Rose. So he's come out because.
Is he gay?
Oh dear.
That was a really evil laugh there. Nice.
I'm not even sure I'm going to dignify that with a cheers.
No,
that was terrible.
Speaking of gay, referee came out as gay.
Can I just finish my Dennis Rose? I'm not like Danny last
talk about Neymar.
I want to finish Neymar. Alright, fuck Danny Rose. Couldn't give a fuck. Alright, gay referees.
No, Danny Rose.
Oh, come on. So Danny Rose has come out and said, fuck you. He has spoken to the press. Okay, I'm no longer going to use the words he has come out. Okay, for those who are listening and are slightly confused, Danny Rose has not come out of the closet.
For those of you listening and slightly confused, Tim is actually gay.
If Danny Rose is listening, he's that home going,
Tim's available. Tim's available.
I already said. Anyway, so apparently
Danny Rose has
the non-City team in Manchester and Chelsea are after him.
Oh.
And he's come out and said, well, if these teams come... I said it again.
Crack on.
He said, if these teams want to speak to me, then I'll listen. Because I don't want to be... because of fuck off. Let me finish this story.
It's the longest airtime. This is the longest airtime Danny Rose has got for his whole professional career.
So Danny Rose, you are famous worldwide.
I rate him. I think
here's a cheers to Danny Rose.
Yeah, cheers to Danny Rose. Anyway, he's been a bit of a bellend and said, I'm not praising him too much. He's come out. I give up. just give up. Can we change the subject?
What was
Yes, we can if you would.
Just go and fucking read BBC. You'll find out yourself.
He said that he's willing to listen
because
they're more
he's been playing
established
for a long.
teams, right?
Yeah, because he wants to win silverware. And he said that I don't want to look back on my career playing for 15 years and not have won anything.
Steven Gerrard did.
Well, he won the Champions League.
Like he's no big deal.
Yeah.
But how much respect? Okay, this is one reason why I love Stevie Gerrard, and I'm an Arsenal supporter. But when Chelsea were after him and everything, he was like, "No, I'm going to stay."
That's why I like Malatesta.
Well, that's not technically true because he did actually have a transfer request. He did have a transfer request, and then he rescinded it like 2 days later because he realised what he was doing.
Like Rooney,
I actually shouldn't be doing this.
No, Rooney's tactically.
Rooney did it to make more money.
You know, but that's where that's when like most people in the country like start to like love Stevie Gerrard.
You can't not love Stevie Gerrard. The guy is a national treasure.
Oh no, he was like a model professional as well because he was never in the papers, never out in the clubs getting
kept his nose clean.
He did keep his nose clean, unlike Robbie Fowler.
Who we should probably say, just in case of any libel things, Robbie Fowler alleged.
No, Robbie Fowler knows where Folshan is. You can come and find us, Robbie.
You got pissed with Robbie Fowler.
I personally, when I met Robbie Fowler, he wasn't on drugs, so therefore he's not guilty. There we go.
He had a beer.
Excellent.
But that's a form of a drug,
He did have a beer, so nice. So am I culpable as well?
In which case,
so we're all drug addicts because we were drinking beer.
Technically.
Technically.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Go on.
You met Robbie Fowler too.
Yes, I did.
So why did you say he met? We met Robbie Fowler.
I did say we met.
You met Michael Owen as well, didn't you?
I did.
Oh, he did. That was. He signed my. No, Michael Owen signed
my England shirt and my whiskey with your pen.
My Sharpie.
Correct.
Oh.
But anyway, I don't want to know about this kind of stuff. We get a lot of old school football players that come over to China and try and set up football stuff and camps and this. Anyway, and recently, Figo's here at the moment. David James is here at the moment. Capello's here at the moment.
Was Figo wearing? No, David James. Was he wearing a?
He was a Fuli. He was wearing a Fuli shirt.
Just so you know, there are two major teams in Guangzhou. Guangzhou is a huge city in South China.
Is it 10 million?
Much like Manchester.
Look
like Manchester, England has Salford Red Sox and Manchester City.
Yeah, Salford Red Sox and Manchester City. So they have Guangzhou Evergrande, who play in red. And Guangzhou
have all the money, win lots and lots of things consistently.
Phil Scolari is manager.
They've won the Asian Champions League like
6 times.
3 out of the past 4 years. And then there was Guangzhou Fuli, who were Manchester City 10 and 11 years ago.
I follow them a fair bit more than...
Is that because they wear blue?
No, but they wear blue. The similarities between City...
Is it because you couldn't play for them?
They wear... No, absolutely not. When I first got here, Fuli, and I found out this story, they play in blue, the couple of divisions down. Very much reminded me of... They were in the shadow of their big brothers, Guangzhou Hongda. And at the time then, when I started getting into it, Sven-Göran Eriksson was at the helm, and they had all other players like this. I was like, oh my god, this is just City Mac 2. So I've got to wait another 24 years, the amount of years that I waited to see City win anything, to see Guangzhou Fuli win anything. So I'm willing to wait.
They just smashed their neighbours though 4-2 in the cup, and then 2 weeks later they smashed them 4-2 again.
Oh, so who would just be Hongda?
Yeah, 4-2 in 2 consecutive games.
I know.
I went with Barry.
But you're saying. Yeah. You've got a season ticket for Hongda, haven't you?
I have got a season ticket for Guangzhou Evergrande. I just wanted a season ticket to watch some football in China.
But how much did it cost?
Well, there were three categories. Okay, so the first category was 2,500 RMB, which you're looking at roughly
£250.
About 250 quid.
For a season ticket for Asian Champions League winners.
For every league game at home, for every cup home game, and for every Asian Champions.
So basically every home game, whatever.
Yeah, basically. That was the highest amount that you could pay for.
That was the most?
That was the most.
Is that what you got?
No, I didn't. I got the second tier one. I paid 1,500 RMB for mine.
So that's roughly £150 for a season ticket to an Asian Champions League winning team.
Yeah, and the third tier was 800 RMB, which is about 80.
Roughly 80.
And that
have you got good seats? Then?
I've got a fantastic seat. I'm very happy with my seat. I'm right in the corner. But I'm as close to the pitch as I possibly can be, which is great. It's really good.
That's pretty cool. Like For what? Roughly, you paid 150 quid.
Yeah.
You get to go and watch every game of the season.
Yeah, I'm actually going on Sunday this week as well to go and watch them play.
Okay.
But the reason that I bought it was because P.I.S.S.D signed for Shanghai, and I wanted to go and watch him play. And when Shanghai came down to Guangzhou, P.I.S.S wasn't listed on the starting lineup. So Guangzhou actually travel up to Shanghai on August the 19th. And I've had a look at flights and accommodation and stuff today, and I can get it up. I can get it up. I can get up to Shanghai for around about £250 for the entire weekend. That's flights, accommodation,
return.
Yeah,
nice.
So. There's an excess of I gave myself a travelling budget of 3,000 for away games.
That's £300.
Yeah.
People think you really flushed that out.
For 300 quid. Yeah. So I figure I can get an excess of about 800 RMB, 80 quid for beers and stuff together. I've still got to get a taxi there. I found a hotel close by to the stadium. I've just got to get permission because she holds on to my testicles in her purse.
Well, at least you admit to it. Yeah. The other, I'm not sure which Shanghai club he plays for. I'm not sure if it's SIPG or Shanghai. No, someone else.
Holt plays for SIPG with Oscar, and Tevez is at the other Shanghai. Where is the one that burned down?
Is that Shenhua is who Drogba and
Shenhua? That's right, yeah. And they left because they weren't being paid their money, and now 13 clubs out of the 16 that play in the CSL are having troubles with paying their players
apparently, according to Chinese media, it's all paid off now. According to Chinese media.
Well, and it's to be trusted. Anyway, the player I'm thinking about, I'm sure he plays at one of the Shanghai clubs. He was a legend from me and my mates at home. Have you guys ever heard Freddie Guarin?
I've heard of him.
No, Freddie Guarin. The man only scores bangers. he solidly scores bangers.
Does. That's exactly what
he used to play for Porto, and then he moved to Inter Milan and was playing as an attacking midfielder. But when he was playing as more of a limited centre mid at Porto, everything he touched was just a screamer. He was phenomenal, and I am desperate to see him play. If he is still in China, I will find out.
I'll find out.
I can't check my phone right now, but as soon as I can check, I'm sure it's one of the Shanghai clubs.
Okay,
certainly is.
Where was he at before?
Inter.
That's where I know him from.
It was either Inter. He was at Inter, Porto, and he played for Colombia. I'm not sure if he's still in the Colombian international setup, but he was for a while.
Speaking of Colombia, Brighton just signed a Colombian.
Massive news. Massive
True,
news.
they did. They signed him from a Belgian team, and I understand that he scored 14 goals in 28 games last season for Bruges.
That's a goal every other game.
It is, and for me, that is fantasy football worthy. Which brings me back to the Charity Shield. What you saw in the Charity Shield, does that affect your fantasy football teams? I know that you put in...
because I put the Arsenal defender who scored.
Who I thought was Giroud at the time. Because they look very much...
Forgive my pronunciation of his name.
Yeah.
But he looked good. I read a lot about him from his former coach as well, because he's quite a stocky lad.
He's a tank.
He's like 6 foot as well. But it was a solid header.
Great header.
He's got an engine on him, so he runs all day.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
No, but he does pay more tax because of the carbon emissions.
Fair dues, right.
Especially in the London surrounding area.
He has to pay
congestion charge.
What is the congestion charge these days? Does anyone know? Because I remember when it started and it was £8. And
we just lost both our viewers.
That was like 10 years ago. 10 years ago it was £8.
Harry, if you're listening, tell me how much the congestion charge is. I
will tell you through his open window on transfer day. There'll be Jim White on Sky Sports with his yellow TV.
Hey, it can happen in a couple of weeks, isn't it? That?
By the way, Jim White, I love you on TalkSport.
There we go. And Moses as well, Vitor, scored.
Who? Vitor?
Victor, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Vitor? Who the?
Iceland Championship manager. They listed him as Vitor at the very first.
Oh, really?
Do you not know?
I don't
okay, yeah. Vitor Moses was his name on Championship.
Yeah, well, I had him in my team and I kept him in it because of that display.
Yeah.
I am. He's one which I'm considering moving across. I've still got Caesar, aka Dave Azpilicueta, in there, and I'm kind of. It's a toss-up for one or the other, really, for me. Between Moses or Azpilicueta. I was thinking who's going to play more frequently.
Alonso scores, man.
Yeah,
Alonso
7 million.
It's a lot of money.
He's wow. You're really giving that comes out well, aren't you?
I'll tell you what, I still haven't put any Arsenal players in my team.
I had Lacazette, but dropped him after his performance against Chelsea. Replaced him with Jesus. He hit the post. Should be scoring goals in my opinion.
It was a great dig. It was a fantastic effort.
Tutankhamun was a great dig.
Howard Carter might disagree.
And the rest of the team with the curse.
Tim, when's your birthday, mate?
The 5th of May.
Speaking of birthdays, 25 years of Premier League.
Hey! That brings us on to our topic nicely, doesn't it? Yeah.
Right, so,
And mine is the 5th of the 5th.
5 fives. Oh,
Hey, You're the right person to ask there, didn't you? You said 22nd of March, like here's your
I'd have just gone.
22nd of March, 22 plus 3. Sorry.
I just didn't have enough fingers, so I was fucked.
Oh, my Somerset roots.
Well, he's got enough fingers. Boris.
Oh yeah, of course he has.
Boris and Mike.
Mother's brother and all that.
Anyway, so 25 years Premier League, fantastic, hasn't it? How old's everyone? I mean, I'm 30, I think.
I'm 33.
I've been telling everybody that I was 33. It turns out I'm 34.
Yeah, your mum corrected you.
Yeah.
That's not what
no,
it's like. I think I'm 30. Please tell me I'm wrong.
34.
And Will?
I'm 28. I'm the baby. Isn't it lovely?
Do you remember what you did when you were 4 years old?
When I was 4 years old?
Yeah.
No.
3 years old?
No, probably.
My earliest memory.
You don't remember the whole entire
Still doing it.
No, I don't remember the entirety of the Premier League. For me,
the first few years.
For me, the Premier League started in 95, 96.
Is that when Gerrard started playing?
No, he started playing in 97, 98, if I'm not mistaken.
You're not mistaken.
It was when
you're not mistaken.
What number was he wearing first game?
Stevie G.
Yeah.
Christ, I've
You
absolutely
call yourself a Liverpool fan.
I think it might have been 13, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, my first memory of the Premier League was 95-96 when Liverpool's record signing was Stan Collingwood for £8.5 million. We're about to
I remember the first Premier League season because Leeds were the last team to win the top flight football before it became Premier League.
Yeah.
Oh, memories.
I know.
And you're wearing a Leeds top today,
I am wearing my Leeds top. I'm wearing my Marching On Together shirt,
That's quite a
which
nice
my
top.
uncle gave to me.
It's
very subtly Leeds, which is probably
Isn't
a
it?
good thing because no one wants
Well, it
to shout
says Leeds United in.
No,
I was about to say hieroglyphics, but it starts
really look at it. It looks like
Cursive,
Converse, doesn't it? It looks like
It does.
Converse.
It also
Yeah.
looks a bit Nuki Brown.
Yeah, you've got to really want it to be a Leeds United.
This isn't really a visual show, is
It's
it?
not, no. But my shirt looks good, my beard looks epic, and my hair is on point.
Your hair is black with cock grease.
It is.
Everything is
It
fine.
is.
Have you got cock grease in your hair tonight?
I have, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Whose?
My own.
You didn't have a sock nearby.
I did not. Just in the hand.
Oh, that's a sound effect.
I'm pretty sure my mother's going to listen to this as well. So
Yeah, we can edit that bit out.
Thank you very much.
No, we can't. I don't give a shit. 25th year though, and I think this is going to be a really, really good one. I think
I do.
There's going to be 5 or 6 teams are really, really gunning for it this year.
Agreed.
And
And
everyone's
5 or
trying
6
to-
teams who could go down.
Exactly, which makes the Premier League the best league in the world.
I love it.
Yeah.
It does. It really does, because anybody can. Leicester proved that anybody can win it, and at the same time, anybody can go down.
As Leicester almost nearly proved last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Chelsea
But-
before that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
Chelsea
so-
won it and then they finished 10th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like Leicester, I wasn't surprised they had a
Proper
bad
rock
season.
that with
I
Chelsea.
was not surprised Leicester had a
No,
bad season.
because they're not going to compete with what they did the
Exactly.
Do you know, if I had the podcast on from 2 years ago, I'd said to everyone, I said, what is happening that particular year when Leicester were winning it? I think this is outstanding. We were all in disbelief.
Yep.
Was it going to happen? Was it not? And I said, if it does, this is absolutely once in a lifetime. And
Really
Ranieri did a fantastic job. But I said next year, as in the season we just had now, at the time I said next year they're just going to play to their ability, because they started riding this wave and they just. And everyone else, so the top teams, they all sort of...
They kind of sat back and watched and went, oh my God, look at them.
So I said next year they'll be basically fighting against survival. I mean, they kind of were, they'll finish a bit further up than that. But I was like, it was exactly how I expected it. I mean, I didn't expect to win it, but after that, that's the trajectory to go. I just felt they would have levelled out. I didn't expect to sack Claudio Ranieri. That was awful.
It wasn't awful. It worked. It was a good decision. It was one of those roll of the dice kind of things. I know it's contentious, but
it turned out well because Craig Shakespeare came in and he did well for them, and the players seemed to perk up a bit, didn't they?
Oh, immediately after Ranieri got sacked, they won.
He's a good manager. He's Sonnet, isn't he?
Eh?
I was going to make a Shakespeare. I was going to make a Shakespeare point. I was going to make a point about how they didn't make much ado about anything afterwards. But you had to. No, I'm not high-fiving you for that.
That was a low five. It's a low five. It's all you worthy of.
Anyway, Tim, I believe you have something for us to celebrate the.
I do have something for you, and as it is the 25th season of the Premier League, I have a few random stats for you.
Fantastic. Stat away.
Well, no, I don't. I'm not going to give them to you. You have to fucking guess.
Oh, perfect.
So,
a game.
A game. It is
lovely.
A game. I'm obviously not going to let it go on too long because some of them you might not get.
Okay.
But
we should just explain, by the way, that we're sitting in my living room and Tim just has a piece of paper in front of him,
which I scrawled whilst sitting in front of the. Well, I actually did most of it yesterday in between wanks.
Well,
nice.
Mum, I'm sorry, I masturbate frequently. All right, so guys, so who won the Golden Boot last season?
Hurricane.
How many goals?
29.
29. How many games did they play last season?
How many games did he play?
Well, no, it's a 38 game season nowadays.
Yeah, 38. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nowadays,
oh
boy.
Fuck you! You didn't start watching the Prem until '96 because Stevie G started playing. Alright, so in the 92-93 season, who received the first Golden Boot?
Oh,
is it Eric Cantona?
It was not, with 22 goals.
Oh,
this is a 42.
It was a 42 game season, right? Yes.
How many? 21.
22 goals.
Ian Wright.
He got it whilst playing for two teams. He was he transferred halfway through the season.
Did he go on a Bosman?
He did not go on a Bosman. The Bosman was quite a late introduction.
Yeah.
Was it? I don't know.
Was it Matt Letizia?
It was not Matt Letizia, although Matt Letizia did score some breathing goals. Go on YouTube and watch Matt Letizia top 10 goals. You will probably...
My favourite player in the Premier League.
Oh, I love Matt Letizia.
I'm going to guess and say...
Oh, you were so close. I've actually got the top three here as well.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to ask what they are.
He started the season at...
Can you tell us which club he was at?
He started the season at Nottingham Forest, and then he transferred to another club halfway through.
Can you tell us that club?
No, because that's a massive giveaway.
That's the
then
one.
I would guess and say it.
But the team he transferred to...
Is he a manager currently?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Was he a defender?
No. With 22 goals.
Steve Bruce scored something like
22 career goals, mate.
Steve Bruce scored like 20 goals in the season that United won the Premier League for the first time.
Okay, alright, so the team he transferred to are one of the few teams who have never been relegated.
So he went from Forest to
Everton.
Villa went down.
Yeah, they've got down now. But
they've never been to this day.
Oh, so to Everton.
Got the Everton rule.
Everton, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Scumchester.
Forest to Liverpool, Collymore.
Is it?
No,
he came for you as a.
This was 92-93 season.
He's still there, 90s.
I don't know. I'm going to have to give up.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Was he
no idea.
No
idea.
From Forest, not a clue.
He also was still playing in the Prem when he was 43 years old, I believe.
Teddy Sheringham.
Teddy Sheringham playing for Forest.
Wow.
Yeah, he went from Forest to Spurs in the 92-93 season. He scored 22 goals.
Huh.
All right, would you like to have a...
I won a competition on Teddy Sheringham's name.
Did you?
I was at the co-op.
At the co-op?
At the co-op. Which
Does that still exist?
Doesn't exist, I don't know.
Well, they do. Well, they did 3 years ago.
Up north.
And it was named the Teddy Bear. And it was you could win a chance to win a Man United shirt.
Danny said who?
Something else.
Oh,
my God, that was awful. That was a full 2. I feel sick.
Too much science.
Much shame. That's going to be beeped out, by the way. And yeah, he was named the Teddy Bear to win a Man United shirt. And for the record, this is going to cause a lot of confusion. Oh, I just said it again.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
I just heard confusion.
So did I.
Yeah.
It's going to call for the record.
I was brought up in a sort of Red Sox family. My dad played for the footballing community known as Salford Red Sox.
And England.
And England.
He's got a cap.
He's got a cap, yeah.
He has.
Anyways, point being, before I was into football and finding my ways, this is when this thing happened. And it was a name, the teddy bear, with a shirt for the red team, which nobody likes. And the teddy was called Teddy Sheringham. I mean, it's obvious, right?
Yeah.
Of all the Salford Red Sox players, that's what
Absolutely.
It could have been Tedwood.
Who's that player?
Tedwood.
Just Tedwood. No, that's just one name, Ted. Yeah, it could have been him, but if he'd have played.
Tedinho.
Yeah. Tedinho, if had Brazil been...
Tedley.
Tedley King.
Joe Tedley. Tedley King.
Tedley King.
Tedley. All right, carry on with this crap
Yeah, please
story.
do.
All right, anyway, number 2 was 20 goals, played for QPR.
Trevor Sinclair.
Nah.
Oh,
His-
Mark Haley.
No,
Damn it.
but
Did
he
he
was a
even
player. His cousin also played in the Premiership. Was a fantastic defender. Although a bit of a crumbs.
Same year.
No.
No, the stat.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. The first Premiership season with the second place in the Golden Boot. Well, second highest goal scorer in the league.
It's such a small number to win.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
The Golden Boot in a game with that.
In like 40 odd games. Yeah. No, I haven't got a clue.
Sir Les Ferdinand.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
All right,
Damn it, I should have got that.
You should- you
that
should
really
have.
annoys me.
Yeah, it
because
annoys me that you didn't get it.
Yeah, cousin Rio / Anton.
Yeah.
QPR, fucking legend for QPR
Yeah,
and
wasn't it?
Newcastle.
Even
God
though-
damn it!
Yeah.
Right,
And
okay.
Spurs as
Yeah,
well.
alright,
Okay,
let me focus
third
on
top
this.
goal
Okay,
scorer.
third top goal scorer.
And he was playing for Wimbledon at the time.
It's not
Who
Vinnie
went-
Jones.
No, it's not.
Dean Holdsworth.
Bird.
Yes! Fucking yeah! Shag that page 3 model with the massive knockers.
Which one was that? Lindsay Dawn McKenzie?
Yes! Another high five! Who worked at the strip club in Yuki when I was down there.
Nice. Did you fuck her tits?
I did not, but a friend of mine did.
That was a hat-trick of high fives.
Oh.
Which brings me on to another point. Nicely done. Who
Another?
scored the first ever Premiership hat-trick?
Brian Dean.
No.
Damn it.
Alan Shearer.
No.
No, it's always worth a guess if it's about goal scoring.
He's got to be up there, hasn't he?
First, Ian Rush.
No.
Ian Wright.
He did it. Oh no, but Ian Wright did score a hat-trick that season.
Oh.
He did it in a 5-1 drubbing against Spurs.
Good choice of words.
I love a good drubbing.
Yeah.
This guy also played.
Henry's too late, right?
Yeah,
This is
cool.
not
Yeah,
too late,
it's
too late. This guy also played for 2 teams that season.
Have we mentioned his name already?
I believe someone did mention his name already.
Was it Trevor Sinclair?
It was Nate.
Was it Lee Chapman?
It was not. No, nobody said Lee Chapman.
Oh no, Brian Dean.
No.
Damn,
You said it the first
I
one.
did.
Brian Dean scored the first ever Premiership
Yes,
goal.
he did against United.
I haven't even written that one down. I just know it. I just know it.
It might have been West Ham.
Who was he
It
playing-
wasn't.
who was he playing for?
At the time, he was playing for Leeds.
I have absolutely no idea who.
And he went to another club who went on to win a title more than once.
Sorry, the first hat-trick was scored by a Leeds player.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
It
Eric Cantona.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
wow.
Yeah, okay.
He was Eric
Had to be.
Cantona. Alright, now guys, this is...
What showed?
Now, I did do some research on this because I was looking up some fantastic stats earlier on. Now, could you...
You mispronounced boobs.
Do you mean stats?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it the wrong way around. Tats.
Yeah.
Tats. I threw it's my stutter. I threw an extra S in there. Stats, tats, boobs. All right. So, while stabbing it up, how many foreigners are in the Premiership today?
Shit.
Think about it.
Word.
An absolute fuck ton, right?
75%.
Yeah, 75%.
Maybe even more.
Could you take a wild stab in the dark of how many foreigners started on the first day of the Prem? I'm not talking.
40.
It's
12%.
tiny.
No, I'm not talking about
this.
percent-wise. I'm talking about a number.
I read
14
I'm
foreign
sure
players.
I read this the other day. and it's
You
something.
are so close.
Is it 17?
It's 13.
13.
Oh.
But there were.
Yeah,
I was better than Will.
You just pulled that number out of your ass.
I did.
Were there not like? Was it something? It's like, I'm hearing there were 2 clubs who had 2 foreigners in their starting 11, and I believe Arsenal might have been one of
I
them.
think Tottenham were one of them.
Arsenal were one of them.
And
Tottenham
was it
is-
Spurs the
So
other?
was the Ardinos?
No,
that back then?
no, that's
Way before.
yeah.
Matt Letizia is a foreigner because he's from one of those islands.
The Channel Islands.
He's from Guernsey, isn't he?
Yeah, Guernsey or Jersey. Guernsey, it is. It's the French one, like the soap. Yeah. I know.
Hey,
I
great.
don't like him so much now. Anyway, yeah, so there were 13 foreigners in the Premiership on day one. That actually started.
That's not
for
even
the team.
That's like the Arsenal whole team now, isn't it?
I do believe
Arsenal's starting 11 has 13 foreigners.
I do.
Settle down, Will.
I do believe Arsenal were the first team to field a full team of foreigners.
I believe
I
that's
think so
true
too.
as well.
It
Yeah.
was either us or
95% French.
No, I'm
Including the manager.
convinced
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that was Arsenal.
Okay, so chaps, could you name them?
Oh, my
The 13 foreigners on the opening day of the Premiership.
Well,
who
Eric
started?
Cantona.
Eric Cantona is there. Yes.
Okay.
Was Jan Molby one of them?
Jan Molby was not there.
Stiginger Bjornaby.
He was not there.
Henning Berg.
He was not. That's a bit too late. He was a bit later.
We're all getting very Nordic here, aren't we?
There was a few Scandinavian chaps there. In fact, I can tell you how many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Scandinavians.
5 Scandinavians?
If we're counting Holland as Scandinavia, then there's 7.
We're not.
We're not Okay,
It's very bloody close.
can you tell me is there a Liverpool player?
Brian Roy?
There is a Liverpool player, but he was not Scandinavian. I'll give you a clue. He was Israeli.
Give me a coup.
A clue.
Oh, Ronnie Rosenthal.
Ronnie Rosenthal is up
Oh,
there.
okay.
I didn't actually know he was.
Any
I didn't know he
goalkeepers?
was.
There is
Dimitri Karin?
no. There is a goalkeeper.
Peter Schmeichel.
It is Peter
I was
Schmeichel,
going to.
the greatest goalkeeper to ever
To
play
play
in
for
the
Man
Premier
I
City.
agree.
To ever play in the
To
Premiership.
play in the Premier League, yeah. The
Yeah.
greatest
He
goalkeeper
was
ever.
absolutely
Which then,
fantastic.
in turn, makes him, in fact, the greatest goalkeeper to play ever.
Dave Seaman, the second
Gigi
best goalkeeper to ever play
No,
for Man City.
I take Schmeichel over
Let's
Buffon.
not get into that discussion. That's another day.
I
That's
was waiting
Okay.
for off Tim there.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into it
Okay, another time.
because once he left Arsenal, he just died in my eyes.
He was at Leeds before he went to Arsenal.
Was
No.
Andres Kanchelski
We just
just
won.
Kanchelskis is there as well. He
Nice,
was,
good choice. Everton.
No, that was when he was
Andre
still at,
Andre
United.
Kanchelskis.
No, still
Ah.
the Red.
You
the
said
Red Bull.
Anders Kanchelskis.
I said
Joking Clancy.
Shut up.
I said Andres Kanchelski.
No, it's Andre.
Andre.
Joe.
Kanchelski.
But you were very close when you said Anders because there's someone there.
Anders Limpar.
Anders Limpar.
Well done, Will.
One of the Arsenal players. Any idea where Anders Limpar's from?
Norway
is
or Sweden?
Close.
Denmark.
He's Swedish.
Sweden.
yeah. But the other Arsenal player is Danish.
Was it Danish Dan?
It was not. He retired the previous season.
There was. Oh, sorry. I thought it was a joke. Danish Dan.
No, it wasn't a joke. I was just playing along.
Yeah,
with it.
and
God
we
for that.
then.
Okay, right. You said
Yeah,
very
like
serious.
Greenland in. 1-0. Now, if you wouldn't mind telling us the remaining players.
Okay, so the 13 non-English players, and I say non-English, I mean non-British players
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Oh, so Ryan Giggs.
He's Welsh, mate. It's still.
Yeah.
No,
He's foreign in my eyes.
we're saying non-British.
Okay.
Tom reads the Daily Mail. Just in case anyone.
Avidly.
Anyway, so the top team, sorry, where were we going? 13 non-British players to start on the first day of the Premiership 25 years ago were, we have got Ronnie Rosenthal, who is from Israel, playing for Liverpool. We have Big Peter Schmeichel, who's from Denmark, playing for Man U. The red side of Manchester. We have Andre Kanchelskis, who is also playing for the same team. Russian. I just got a big lump of bogey in my throat when I coughed there.
Often happens when we talk about Russians.
Yeah, it really does.
Because you've got to pronounce the names.
Yeah.
And they're all filled with.
Some guy whose name I cannot pronounce, but he was from the Jan Stechlar, maybe. He was playing for QPR. He's from the former Czechoslovakia. We've got Roland Nilsson, who was playing for Sheffield Wednesday, who was from Sweden.
Roger would have got that.
Michael Vonk.
What
who
a
was,
great name. Is he Dutch?
he is
Yeah, he
Dutch,
has
and
to be with that name.
he was playing for Man City at the time.
Danny,
where's he
come on.
Michael Vonk.
no,
you
like
call
that.
yourself a fucking fan.
I find it.
Put a Vonk on it.
Like a dog.
What a Vonk! Instead of dropping the C-bomb, he's an absolute Vonk. We have two Arsenal players. One was John Jensen, who is Danish, and the other was Anders Limpar. Hans Sagers, who was the goalkeeper for Wimbledon.
Ah.
He is also Dutch.
Hans Savers.
Sagers.
Like in the games console.
Yeah, but with an ERS, not A.
Ah.
Eric Cantona, who we all know is French and played for Scumchester. Gunnar Haller, who was Norwegian and played Oldham Athletic.
Oh, you forget that Oldham.
Oldham Athletic.
Yep.
And we have a Canadian.
Fuck off, E? No way.
We have a Canadian who was playing for Ipswich. Ooh, you know this.
No, I thought I did. I don't.
When I
Begins
say
with an I?
No.
Then crack on.
It's not Ian something.
Ian Canada.
It's Craig Forrest.
Of course it is.
Craig Forrest.
Craig
For
Forrest.
some reason, I don't know why.
Craig Forrest was a Canadian playing for Ipswich, and Robert Wrozicka, who was Polish, and he was playing for Everton.
Wow.
They were your 13 non-British players started in the Premiership.
Well done for that.
Well done for that. Yeah, thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome. I'll
really
have
good.
a plethora of stats for you next week too.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
In between wanks.
Indeed. Of course.
Wank first, stat later.
Of course.
Neymar.
Neymar.
Good job, Tom.
Neymar's gone, guys.
Yes.
He's gone for 196 million English pounds, which I believe roughly translates
222 million
Thank
European
you, Will.
euros.
Yes, it does. He's fucked up the transfer market for remaining clubs.
Yep.
Hence this Coutinho bollocks that's going on now.
that's it.
And who's that other bloke from
Dembele.
Dortmund?
Dembele,
They won 120 million from Barca for him.
130. They. And how old is he?
He's
Like 20?
18.
No, not Dembele.
No, Mbappe's 18.
Mbappe's 18.
Apparently PSG is going to go up.
Because PSG are just throwing money around.
What happened?
That's
to
how you
fair
launder
play?
money. Yes, exactly. What the fuck happened to fair play?
When your team is owned by a government, I don't think it really matters.
A Qatari government. Yeah, owned by a country.
We have the GDP of Qatar to play with. I don't think it matters that much.
I know, Tim. I know, mate.
Can I really quickly vent my spleen about the Coutinho thing?
Please crack on. This is why we're here.
Actually, this is why we're here. This is the entire purpose of it. No, it's not venting a spleen. I think he will stay.
I would like to see him stay.
Well, as we said, he hasn't handed in a transfer request. He hasn't really made anything. He said, like, yes, I would love to play for Barcelona, but I will only do it if it doesn't adversely impact Liverpool, which obviously it would, because there's no way we could replace him this close to the beginning of the season.
No, you still can.
Yeah, but not with the same quality. And in fairness, then if we
two or three of that. Price
but if we get 120 million in, as is happening out at Barcelona, we've got this 200 million, and suddenly prices are spiked. If we get 120 million quid in, we could turn around and like say, all right, that Naby Keita, we'll have him. You rejected 65 million. You rejected 70 million. Here's 80 million. And then turn around and like 100. Fuck off.
Because we know
you know who got. We can do 120 million.
Bradley might Phillips like 50 million.
I mean, in fairness, in MLS history, we should caveat this by saying the offer hasn't actually been for 120 million yet.
Yeah, no,
it's been 90. That's what they're going to.
Probably what will be accepted for, if anything.
Well, that's the thing. Can you turn down 120 million?
No, you
can't.
But
who can you buy for 120 million?
This is the thing is, if you could actually buy the right player for 120 million quid, yeah, buy and take it. Buy your hand off for 120 million pounds. The thing is, you can't actually buy the right player for 120 million quid. You buy Gylfi Sigurdsson's like going to be what, 50 if he goes for 50 million quid. I'm sorry, Gylfi Sigurdsson is quality. Me and my brother call him Classic 11 because he will be in the Classic 11 on FIFA. He's that fucking good. But he's not 50 million quid.
Fucking
Absolutely not.
75 million.
Exactly, which is but even that one makes sense because like he's proven if he's scored goals in the Premiership, he's worth that amount of money. Whereas if the thing is, if we get over 100 million pounds of Coutinho, we're not going to be able to buy any players from the Premiership who'll be able to do the same job because they'll be inflated to hell anyway. So we'll have to go somewhere else, and then you end up spending a ridiculous amount of money on an unknown quantity, which just for me it doesn't make sense. Our scouting system is far from bad, but if we get this, if this happens, and I really hope it doesn't, because I absolutely love Coutinho,
but more than Firmino.
Yeah, for Firmino I warmed up to last season. His first season with
He scored goals last season.
He did score goals last season, but the thing is, one of the reasons he scored goals, Coutinho fed him. It was like when the two of them were playing together, they were fantastic, and he was dropped down into like a false nine. They played really well. We do have Salah this season. We've got
surely feed Firmino instead of Coutinho.
I've just got images. Here on the side. Here's a burger, mate. Here's a hot dog. Go on, please. Oh, there you go. Here's a pot pie.
Lick this cream off my nipples.
That's a bit much.
Cream egg, pal. Get it down, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, having Salah, Mane, and Firmino up top, that's
I don't
terrifying.
think you'd miss Coutinho.
I think with the creativity and is the fact that he'll put the ball up in the middle and create something out of nothing. Lallana's out for a few months, so we're not going to.
Lallana's fucking poor.
We're going to be missing him.
I don't think you're missing.
Biased, but I do disagree.
You're biased because he plays for you, but like he was all right at Southampton.
Mediocre at best.
Yeah.
At Southampton, I think he's done better. He's not better under Klopp. He's a lot more intense now. He does a lot more running. He gets a lot more involved.
Yeah, true. He's better than me, but like I'm a fucking rugby player.
Yeah.
Tom does have a magical first touch. My first touch.
I genuinely do. But however, we're discussing.
Either way, I think he probably will go, and if he does, I think we'll end up having it. I think it will end up being a disaster because I don't think.
I think
you've got enough cover, and I agree with him. I think it's going to stay anyway.
Enough cover to cope with the Champions League as well. I'm not expecting us to go far in the Champions League, but we had problems last season when players got injured around January, and we went through a period where we could barely score. If you end up losing Coutinho, then that's when we lost him. It was around January, and we stopped winning games, and the goals dried up. If that happens again this season from the start, we will be in some shit. That's my feeling about it anyway. I mean, I'm obviously open to input.
I believe he stay, and I would like to see him stay because
I would. You don't like to lose the good players out.
You know, like Ronaldo. Like,
when he left, it was disappointing.
Yeah, you know, like it was a little bit. It was a little bit of a prick, but you know, that's the reason we like football.
Fans in the stadium.
This is why we like football. You know, we want to see the cool shit they do.
Exactly. I can't stand Costa. But
he's a dirty little rat.
I enjoy watching him wind up the other players. However, Joey Barton, can't stand the guy.
I've got a lot of time for Joey. He's
a Class A helmet, mate.
He's
a Class A
genuine prick.
He's a proper vonk, but he's funny to watch.
No, did you hear him when he was in France doing his little French accent? I think I've been playing well quite playing quite well. I cannot even do a French accent.
Sod Joey Barton.
Yeah,
and like Drogba as well.
He's some kind of philosopher.
I liked watching Drogba score goals and stuff like that, but he was an absolute.
You didn't like him taking a touch on the back of the ankle.
No, because he went down for 5 to 10 minutes.
Have you seen Drogba? He's like 6'3". He's
beast.
Built like a brick shithouse.
He goes down like that.
The guy's a monster.
He was getting pushed off the ball by Chinese players.
Yeah, man, he could play like professional fucking rugby. He's that big and strong and fast.
But either way, going back to the original point, is you did love to see them play.
Yeah,
you'd love to see anyone if as long as they're good. It doesn't matter if they're a prick.
Yep.
It's like that's true.
It's like Suarez.
I like Suarez.
No, I remember Chelsea fans. Who's like, I'm fucking glad to see the back from Rizal Wanker. Blah blah blah. I was like, fuck off. If he was in your team, excuse the pun, but you would bite your hand off to keep him.
Of course you would.
Of course you would. It's ridiculous. You could have gone to Arsenal for 40 million plus £1.
Plus a quid. Jesus.
That would have been a steal. That would have been a steal. So I would have cried. I would have absolutely.
Why did that not happen? Surely they have to accept it.
Because Fenway Sports Group basically was like, it's contract. It's not worth the paper it's printed on.
Well, no, that's the buyout clause.
Yeah,
they went above the
buyout clause.
It was farcical. That was
no. The buyout clause is there for a reason. We went above.
Hence Neymar.
Hence Neymar. I still can't believe Arsenal didn't open legal proceedings about that, but I'm glad they didn't because we managed to finish second.
I still can't believe that a football player has gone for 196 million.
Danny leans forward as soon as Neymar's name is mentioned. He's straight back.
Just can't wait.
Did FIFA not try and do anything about Neymar?
La Liga did though. La Liga tried to stop processes, didn't they, William?
They certainly did.
And what did they do in order to stop those processes?
They told them we are not going to accept this money unless it comes from the player directly.
Correct, they did. So I believe that Qatar gave Neymar the money, and he said, "Well, here you go. This is my money."
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm buying myself.
I'm buying myself out of my contract.
But to be honest, I mean that's clutching at straws. It's like, please don't take it. Well, the thing is, I don't care. I don't understand why La Liga give a shit.
He was the next guy to take over from Messi. He's younger than Messi. Messi's coming up.
It's not their responsibility to provide.
It's their responsibility to keep people interested in La Liga, and they've only got Ronaldo, who's coming to the end of his days. Gareth Bale is in his days.
That's pretty harsh. He's
coming to the end of his football playing days. Gareth Bale gets injured like that. They've just got rid of James. Sorry, James.
Did you just injure Gareth Bale when you did that?
I did. That.
Gareth Bale. Now, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
And then they've got Suarez, who is also... He's not coming to the end of his career, but he's knocking on.
He's no spring chicken.
He's no spring chicken. Neymar was going to be La Liga's next big name that was going to carry on. Who else have they got? They've got Griezmann. Griezmann that is going to bugger off at some point because that Scumchester are going to chuck some money in their way. And then that is going to ruin La Liga. It is. Once Messi's gone, bye-bye. He's like the royal family. Messi's the queen, and then after that, who have you got? You've got nobody that interests anybody else. And so the royal family are going to drop off. La Liga's going to drop off around the same time.
Did I mention Tom reads the Daily Mail?
I love the royal family. I'm sorry, I love the queen. But the rest of them, once the queen's gone and the new lot come through, that's it for me with the royal family. And it's like that for La Liga. In my eyes,
for me, La Liga is just a very, very boring league.
But surely can FIFA saying look, you're fucking up football here.
They are.
Because
what's the good there?
As soon as this £200 million bet transfer's gone through, fucking 90. If Neymar didn't exist, would Coutinho have ever had a bid for 90 million?
Hell no.
No.
40 tops.
Yeah, exactly. We paid 40 million for Sanchez 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Can I very, very quickly just jump back to the beginning of your sentence?
Did I make a grammatical error?
No. Sorry.
That needs correcting.
No. My point was more about isn't there anything FIFA could do to stop football from being fucked up? You know Jack Warner is, right?
Yeah, but he's nothing to do with it anymore.
No, but FIFA is just fucked up.
FIFA's just fucked up in general.
FIFA is.
Hence why Qatar have a World Cup.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Fucking Russia.
And Russia, which a small part of me wants to go to.
But just don't wear an England shirt.
Exactly,
It's
and I should be alright.
It
is next door.
Don't be gay as well.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, no.
I'll be gender fluid, whatever the fuck that is.
Straight, that means straight.
Does it?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So, aside from the actual transfer fee...
And welcome back, Danny.
Yes, hi.
The wages... Sorry,
he's been perusing.
His salary is reported £515,000 per week.
After tax or before?
Well, apparently you're saying after tax.
I said after tax, I did. Which would make it $2.5 million.
It was without
because
that, but still that's...
2 million. 75% tax cost.
Alright.
So how did you work it out?
I didn't work anything out. I read somewhere...
You read it in the papers.
I did. I read it in the Daily Mail that that Neymar was earning £500,000 a week after tax, which then made me think, hang on a second, this is the reason why all those French millionaires buggered off earlier when they upped their tax thing to 75% or 80%. It turns out it was 75%. So if you're earning £500,000 a week after tax, you're earning how much for?
Over $1 million.
Easily, yeah. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, you're earning easily over
more than a tenner. I'm not wrong.
Let's call it. It's just. I think.
Let's call it 2 million.
I think there's a little bit over 2 million.
There you go. So somebody's paying Neymar over £2 million.
The French love him.
Let's assume this is after tax then, or before. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, £515,000 per week equates to £73,571 sterling per day. Every single day.
I won't see that in 3 years.
£3,065 per hour of his just being in existence. It's not even in waking hours, it's just like just being, right?
You get paid to wank.
£51 per minute and that's a mighty 85p a second. Now, my little silence there was accompanied by a little bit of maths here. I researched the average time a human being spends on the toilet in their lifetime.
Oh, okay, this is why you've been quiet.
And, well, yeah.
Shitting and thinking.
I wasn't shitting at the same time. I was thinking about
I was shitting on my couch.
But the average person per week spends about 1 hour 20 to 1 hour 45 minutes a week on the toilet. Do you know how much Neymar earns just by shitting, but like the average person?
Just over $5,000.
Yeah. £5,355
taking a shit.
for having a shit and taking a slash in the morning. Lucky bastard.
Is that per week?
Per week.
Per week, the cost of Neymar taking a shit is over £5,000. Unbelievable. That's more than I make.
It's like 20 odd thousand per month just for going on the toilet.
Shitting. Oh, that is
that was dead air right there.
That is dead air. I was going to make a joke. I was going to make a joke about Neymar shitting money, but I mean, it goes without saying.
More or less is.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. Anyway, let's have a little break, guys, and get back to you after this short commercial break.
Well, I was going to say we could. So, welcome back. Yes, indeed. I believe it's time to talk about the games that we're most looking forward to for this weekend, because I have been waiting, I believe, 75 days since the last Premier League game, something along those lines.
75 days?
It's about that. Yeah.
It's flown by for me personally.
Not for me, it hasn't. Anyway, I am super excited that as of tomorrow night, our time, 2:45 a.m, I believe, is the first kick-off between Arsenal and Leicester. I won't be watching that game either. I will wake up on Saturday morning and have a look and see how my fantasy team did, if I have an Arsenal player in my team. Oh, excuse me. The game that I am looking forward to most this weekend is it's technically a Sunday game, our time, because it's being shown at midnight, but it is a Saturday game, and that is the Brighton-Man City game, mainly because I think that Man City are going to absolutely stuff them.
I am also up for that game as well, mostly because the Amex is an absolutely beautiful stadium, and I want to see how it looks on Match of the Day.
Perfect.
I know it's not. I would love to think that Brighton will have a good start and hold them off to like a 1-1 draw.
That would be delightful.
That would be delightful. How do you feel about that?
As a fan of football, I think that would be great.
And
the game I'm going to watch is Watford-Liverpool, though, because that's at 7:30 our time. So that's a comfortable time. Mine says 7:30.
Oh, well, mine's to say okay, never mind.
Mine's correct.
Is it 1:30 back home?
I have no idea.
It must be at 1:30 again. Yeah, I was going to think there's no.
At the moment, we're still 7 hours.
Correct.
Yeah. It's 8:30 again.
And then fuck October when we move 8 hours.
And watching football becomes a nightmare.
I've been a big fan of Brighton coming up to Premier League. They've been knocking on the door for a few seasons now, and I've always wanted to see them there. I truly believe that City are going to have a very good season this year.
I think City are going to win it. I'm throwing it out.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of the pundits are saying that. I'm staying grounded. We don't know. The truth is, I would have loved to have kept Iheanacho.
Yeah.
And have at least one backup good striker, especially youth. I love a bit of youth. If we could,
I'm pretty sure we made this joke last week.
Yeah, we did. But I was
that was the Chilean minus, wasn't it? But if we Mbappe, do we know?
Yeah.
He would have fit the bill for me, apart from the price
but
tag.
That price tag,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Also looking forward to the Crystal Palace game.
Huddersfield.
They are
I think that Zaha and Loftus-Cheek, I think they're going to do alright. Puncheon's up in there. Kabai maybe.
Is he not injured? Loftus-Cheek?
No, Loftus-Cheek isn't. He's readily
Tough,
available.
I'm hoping for fancy reasons.
Tough in the last friendly play.
As of fantasy football today is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm also, for like fancy football reasons, I'm hoping Zaha runs riot.
I'd love to see Huddersfield win that, not just because they're a promoted team, but because
stay up
Palace.
Always love an underdog.
Always.
Tim, what's your game of the season? Game of the week, sorry?
Obviously, I'm most interested in Arsenal Leicester, but that's at 2:45 for us, so fuck that.
Yeah.
As I'm working on Saturday.
That's been done before.
Yeah, it has been done before, but I'm...
It's unpleasant.
Yeah, you know,
it's not nice.
Especially when Leicester beat you 3-0.
Yeah, exactly. You know, a couple of times I did stay up. Like, there was one late game I stayed up to watch last season, and Southampton turned us over 3-0. I was like, fuck that. It's the last time I ever stay up to watch Arsenal in a late game. But probably just because I'm probably going to go for like the West Ham game on Sunday evening.
Chicharito to score 2 against Scum.
I would love that.
So
I'm fairly sure he's going to score against them. I just think that United are going to.
3-1.
I just did it again. What is wrong with me?
You love United.
You do more frequently than anyone else today.
Yeah.
No, I have though. I think Chicharito is going to score against them. I think horrendously, Man United Red. So I did it again.
Man United.
What is wrong with me? I'm beeping this shit out.
I'll tell you what, I think next time we bring a bottle of some kind of spirits, and any time it's mentioned, a shot is...
I concur.
Yeah,
I like to be
Can
because we are pissed.
Can I throw out my opinion on that, which is going to need a beep?
Yeah.
Crumb, Will, crumb!
It took me an hour.
Oh. Well, on that note,
Well, how
ladies
often are
and
you going to
gentlemen,
mention Salford Red?
Salford Red wankers.
That team was sold, but I think going to do quite well this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. My game of the weekend, before we'll make a quick wrap up, Newcastle United versus Tottenham.
yeah, Newcastle turned them over 5-1 last game of the season when they were in the Premier League.
I can see a Tottenham dicking here, but
What, a dicking from or towards?
From, as in Tottenham are
Okay.
like 4-5-0, I reckon.
Wow.
It's going to be a really away game. I'm a big fan of
Rafa
Benitez. I just don't think they've got the players to compete at this level.
Shelby, Richie, Gale.
Newcastle will be
Gale's
They'll be alright.
them in all season. I've got to say,
I got a soft spot for Newcastle. I do.
Same.
I think they're a great club,
Yeah.
great fan base, and I love Rafa Benitez. I just don't think they can do anything this year.
They'll stay up.
Mid-table.
Yeah.
Oh, mid-table's a bit ambitious, I think.
Nah, I think they'll be alright.
They'll be alright.
They'll finish the highest.
Honestly, don't get me wrong. I do like them. I think they're very fantastic, a very big club.
I'm tipping
They will finish
They'll definitely
above
stay
Huddersfield
up.
and
They'll
finish above
definitely
Brighton.
stay up.
Cup
for
run,
sure.
maybe? Cup run for Newcastle?
Not
Cup run for Leeds United,
Newcastle
for
never
sure.
make a cup run.
Hey, Rafa's alright in the cups.
Yeah, Rafa is alright in the
know?
cups. I would know. Rafa is alright in the cups, so I don't see Newcastle making a cup run this
beat
season. Their main aim is to stay up, which in fairness they probably will do comfortably, but Rafa's not going to forego safety for a cup.
And then Will, your game of the week?
As I concur with Tom, it's got to be it's Brighton City.
I think it's going to be a great game.
Liverpool. I'd love to see us win a game.
Yeah.
Actually, in fairness, we won our opening game of the season last year, and it was spectacular. One of the games of the season.
Well, are you free at 7:30? Are you going to be watching the game?
I'm going to
We'll be
work.
working.
I will keep you posted because I'm going to be watching.
I'll be minute by minute in class, but any updates would be much
City fans inquest. Quick score, Will, for the game?
From which game?
City.
The City Brighton.
Yeah.
5-0.
5.
I think 5-0.
2.
City.
I'll do.
3-1 City.
They're not even going to score one. They're not. No way. It's going to be an absolute
4-0.
riot.
It depends if we play Claudio Bravo in goal, they're probably going to have a hat-trick.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about
You
that.
still got him?
Yeah,
He
unfortunately.
needs to fuck off, and they need to get
You let
half
Randy
back in.
Cavallero go to Chelsea.
And you're keeping Bravo.
Bravo.
Bravo's a shambles.
Absolutely. Can't
Bravo's
agree more.
hilarious. He's a
What
great
Guardiola says, Guardiola does, doesn't he? So.
Yeah. Well,
He'll probably
thankfully he's
start
got a good defence in front of him. So
Now he has.
now he
Last
has,
season,
yeah.
piss poor.
Well, hopefully it'll be a 5-0 thrashing, and Sané gets 2 and Jesus gets 3.
Another cheeky stat for you. Claudio Bravo did not save a shot in 2017.
In a whole of year 2.
What a prick!
In the Premiership.
Correction to my stat from last week, if we do have any viewers from last week. Not viewers.
Listeners.
Are you sure because it's managerial stat?
It was the Stuart Pearce one. It wasn't a full calendar year, but it was after New Year's Day.
Okay.
So until the end of the season. So it was a...
He didn't win.
So it was like a
score.
He didn't score a home goal. He
Oh,
didn't score a home goal since after New Year's Day until the end of the season.
It's not as poor as the stat you brought as your original idea. It's still piss poor.
So pretty shit.
Right, boys and girls, that was a loud clap.
Did you get a
I
mosquito?
think I did not know. On that note,
Basically, Tom needs to go back to his missus.
I do, and I think that's been about an hour.
Needs to get his nuts wet.
No, I'm actually going back to watch The Handmaid's Tale. Because
you heard it here that Tom has a vagina.
Anyway, it's barbecue time for me.
Okay, crack on then.
Bit of shower, yeah.
Boys and girls, thank you so much for listening to us again this week. And
boys and girls, is that our target audience?
Boys and girls,
ladies and
both
men.
sexes. Yeah. I think so.
Kiddies.
I think that's all right.
I think we spend too much time around kids, mate.
Chilean miners, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Right. Laying there doing nothing.
I'm out.
Chilling.
So I'll speak to you all next week. And as for the rest of you,
alright, guys,
I'll leave it up to you.
Should we do a round of goodbyes and a cheers?
Danny, you do the sign off because you're the theatrical one.
It's got a degree.
Alright, Heath.
No, thank you.
Alright, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. If you have been listening, tell your friends, your mums, and
don't tell your mums. Don't tell your mums. That's a terrible idea.
Don't tell Will's mum.
Definitely don't tell my mum.
Alright, once again, we've been pissed.
Yeah, we are pissed. Cheers, guys. We'll catch you next week with a roundup of the first week of the Prem.
Oh, looking forward to it.
Very much looking
Cannot wait.
Take care, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
That's my Dutch fans.